Hey, what up, y'all? Nick the Frick here. Nick G. Going live. Why am I going live? Because I got things to talk about. We live. Do I see you? Do you see me? That's what I'm talking about. Live and in color. Nick is weird. Start there. What's up, Facebook? I'm talking to y'all. I decided to go to Facebook this time instead of Substack. Why? America, I can do what I want. Donald Trump chose to help Israel bomb Iran. It was not based on American intelligence. It was not based on global intelligence. It was literally based on Bibi Netanyahu saying, oh no, we have these things. And we had these things. So from the 13th on, Israel was running operations. They were bombing these spots. They talked Donald Trump, specifically this one dude, into helping out, into bombing stuff. They're giving authorization that they don't have the authorization to do. Donald Trump bypassed Congress. Illegal. So by not listening to intelligence, by solely going off of Israeli intelligence, which is all a lie, because Israel is a terrorist organization and is currently committing genocide that we are paying for. That's our dollars being kicked out. So while I'm talking about that, that's topical. That is what it is. See if we can't find the way out of this spot. There we go. Nick G, dude on the couch. Couch is right here. I'm in my living room doing living room things. But of course I'm doing news, because that's what I do. All I do is take an input, and then I process it through my little frick brain, and then Nick G does the thing. And then I argue with people online. Oh, you're so stupid. You don't know. You need to learn. I don't need to learn. Y'all need to learn how to look things up. If it's in your head and it came through American education, you were lied. You were lied to. You were taught wrong. A couple weeks back, we had to explain to the 11-year-old in the house, no, New York did have slavery. Yeah, they did have slaves. Yeah, they were slave owners. Yes, they were discriminatory against black folks. You know what I mean? So going by the education that's already in your head, I went to college, I went to school, I learned an education. And by the way, New York State education is above and beyond other states because we put that much emphasis into it. With that being said, we choose not to learn. I've lost friends. I've lost, as a matter of fact, a dude that spent the night at my house, and the morning that I found out that my dad had passed, gone. Gone. It doesn't matter our history. It doesn't matter the love that I have for my homeboy. It just doesn't matter. When people are that fucked in the head, you don't need to make them feel comfortable with what they don't understand. You know what I mean? If you think I was taught and now I know, you're wrong. People that cut hair have to constantly go and learn hairstyles. They constantly have to go and learn methods. People that practice law have to constantly re-educate. People that practice medicine have to constantly learn new methods and procedures and science as it becomes available. What's different with us? What's different with us? You know, I've been, Benedict Arnold's kind of been my new thing, only because I'm from Whitehall, New York. I never connected Benedict Arnold and Whitehall, New York. Benedict Arnold built the United States Navy from Skene Manor. So if you live around the mountain, Benedict Arnold was hunting around your house. Fun, right? But let me also explain. This was good Benedict Arnold. Why do I say that? This motherfucker built the United States Navy from Skene Manor on Lake Champlain. Fucking amazing. I am so fascinated with this factoid. And I grew up in Whitehall. I grew up with people from Whitehall. And somehow, I never heard about this till somebody was telling me that they were related to Benedict Arnold. And I'm like, yeah? You're related to Benedict Arnold? No way. In Whitehall? I looked it up. And that just goes to teach you, and I'm going to quote the sage wise men, Belle Biv DeVoe, never trust a big butt and a smile. Because when I think about Benedict Arnold, I just think about that episode of the Brady Bunch where Peter Brady had to play Benedict Arnold, and he was so distraught at playing a traitor. In my head, Benedict Arnold's Peter Brady. Back to Iran. Donald Trump is unilaterally speaking with heads of state. He's speaking without intelligence. He's also not a bright man. He is also experiencing dementia. He is experiencing whatever forms of Alzheimer's are coming in. And why do I say that? No, I am not a doctor. I'm a dude on the couch. Look, there's my couch. But what I'm saying is, while he is not diagnosed, while I am not a doctor to diagnose it, his father had it. He's showing symptoms, people watching. And when I say people watching, I don't mean Kyle Kulinski. He's an alright dude. He's just hyper into it like I am. Same thing as, like when I'm watching, who's it? JoJo from Jersey. Same thing. She's just hyper into it. So that's where the knowledge picks up because they just dig it, like me. Now, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about medical people who get paid to diagnose. Same thing with like legal people who get paid to practice law. That's who I listen to. Do I listen to comedians on the 5? Do I listen to, people that just are coming from a different angle? Now that I'm thinking about it, I was talking about, what was I talking about? Somebody was going off about borders and stuff like that, saying that there's the legal immigration. They give me this big rundown about their family history from the 17 and 1800s and how they came and then how they earned their right to be a citizen and all that. And my only response was, if you're not talking to me post 2000, we are talking past each other. There was no immigration. You showed up, you signed your name, you got a thumbs up, bop, you started a life. And if you were white and not Italian and not Irish, you were able to make money. You know what I'm saying? You were able to create generational wealth. That's not the way that it is now. Now, if you are seen as a brown person, they have made you automatically, as far as media and communication, they've already made you be an illegal. Illegal. Who's illegal? None of us are illegal. Fucking the dog here is not illegal. The cat is not illegal. They are not citizens. They're dogs. They're pets. They're biology. They're entities. They're life. Life doesn't give a fuck about our laws. And so while I'm arguing with people about laws, somebody did a quick googly search, and I told them straight up, don't talk to me about immigration and process unless you have a straight ass spreadsheet, wide ass open, to start discussing policy. And they did, and they broke out like a quick Google search. They showed me 5 or 6 numbers, totally uncontextual and in a grand scale. This is the United States of America. Southern California does not understand Vermont. Oregon, you pick a place in Oregon. Oregon does not understand Utah. Do you understand what I'm saying? The United States means that we are a bunch of unique individuals who are clinked together to form a greater body, which is the United States. That's what we are. We are not America. Like you say Italy, and everybody breaks out the flags, they break out their pasta, whatever, they break out their nonna. Same thing with France. They break out the flags, they break out the crepes, they break out the French fries. Same thing with England. They break out the flags, they break out their cups of tea. There is no one. There's many. That is known as one. So when we have senators, and there's 2 for every state, when we have senators that are over 40,000 people, not even millions, 40,000 people for their representation, you know what I'm saying? How are they telling a state that one city has more people than the next 5 states has? How is that person going to tell Los Angeles how to do its thing? They don't understand a Mexican population of American people. They don't understand that. They understand why. Now, what do I describe as white? I am not white. I'm European. I'm human. I'm male. I'm, and I say male. I identify as this. I have the XY chromosomes. I have the male equipment. You know what I'm saying? That's male. That's me as part of the population. But that doesn't mean that everything is the same. Nothing's the same. One is one. E pluribus unum. Because we are all individual until we move as a unit. Wreck-It Ralph. That's Wreck-It Ralph 2. That's the whole plot. He became the bad guy because he was a whole bunch of himself. He was multiple. That's us. We don't take advantage of that. We don't speak up when the people who are associated with the Trump administration lie. We don't speak up. I speak up. Nick, what are you doing? You got to go out and you got to protest. You got to run for... You fucking do it. I do what I do. I'm a warehouseman. If I don't work, I don't make money. I kick out almost $500 a week in fucking child support. I just said a week. I kick out more than almost $500 in child support. I'm going to work. I'm not calling off so I can stand and shout at the fucking moon. I'm shouting at the fucking moon right here to y'all. I'm talking specifically to y'all. And I'm speaking to Bill Harney, who stopped friending me because he wanted to be right too. No, Bill. You support fascism. You don't believe in habeas corpus. You don't believe that people have due process. You don't believe that people have rights. Oh, did I not say brown people? Because it doesn't fucking matter. If you are on American soil, you're protected by law. And if that's not okay with you, you need to learn where your values are. And you need to learn what it takes to be an American, because America is a nation of laws. That's why Donald Trump unilaterally deciding with Bibi Netanyahu that he is going to, I think Rubio was in on it. I think Steve Witkoff was in on it. Another real estate money launderer was in on it. The whole thing is about personal transaction, personal muscle, and none of it has to do with bettering the United States. I'm looking into the camera, which means Facebook world, I'm looking at you because this is where I'm going live on Facebook. You are a fucking piece of shit if you support Donald Trump. You are a fucking piece of shit if you blanketly just trust Pam Bondi, J.D. Vance, any of these monkeys fucking showing up on fucking, in the cabinet, any of these window lickers that are showing up on Fox that are saying, no, it's this. None, Fox, MSNBC, CNN. If you bring a panel that doesn't debate facts but argues emotion, that's unhealthy. And I want to quote Jon Stewart on Crossfire. You guys are just being dicks. Hey. So anyway, I'm going to drop out from this live. I got shit to do. I'm getting ready for work. Work's getting ready for me. They'll never be ready. Anyway, this is me. Peace.